Hi friends, welcome back to another video from Carolina's Cottage. I'm Johnny, and today let's look at a few inexpensive ways to use craft supplies and thrifted items to make Christmas decor. I'll also show you a couple of surprise creative moments that came up during this project and a few inspirations from last year's crafting results. So stick around through the end of the video to see these tips. If you've seen one of my recent videos showing the top 10 types of items you should buy when you're thrifting, then you may remember this pair of containers. All these needed was a little touch-up painting to cover some of the scratches. I thought these would be nice filled with Christmas florals. The floral, foam, and moss can be found on my Amazon link. I'll include that below. Any Christmas florals that you have on hand could be used. I purchased these from Amazon. Floral arranging is not my strong suit, but I thought I would give it a try for these containers. Using the floral moss to fill in really helps the piece look very full and more professional. I did add a few more pieces later. This cute wreath is from Hobby Lobby, and although it was the cheapest wreath I found, it was still a little pricey even at 50% off. I think I paid around $25 for it, and I'm dressing it up with a few shabby bows. These bows are from strips of muslin fabric that I tore into strips that were about 1.5 inches wide and about 2.5 feet long. I used some of the strips for the ends of the bow. I will tie a string around this section of these strips of fabric. Then I'll make loops with the other strips of fabric to form a bow, although I won't tie it into a bow. I will do the same technique of using a string to secure these and attach it to the wreath. These are similar shabby bows. These will go on the pair of containers that I filled with Christmas florals. I occasionally find these old Christmas sleighs during the year. They're an easy flip and they're great for displaying so many things. You can display other Christmas decor or gifts or even table decor for Christmas meals. I painted this one chiffon cream, which is a Rust-Oleum chalk paint, and I added a handmade bow that I glued to a magnet and placed on the front, which is a metal section. My original idea was to keep this tan trim on the edges of the sleigh, but as I kept going with the chiffon cream paint, it just looked so much better that I ended up painting all of the wood areas with the chiffon cream. And I didn't do anything to the metal sections. I just want to take a quick pause here to ask you to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it, and to please let someone know about my YouTube videos. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, please send them over to my YouTube channel for Carolina's Cottage. And let's get on with our video. I noticed as I was painting this that there is a little crack in the wood on the top right section. I'm going to have to come back and patch that up with some wood glue. I'm making a bow from the last bit of muslin ribbon that I got at Hobby Lobby last year, and I'll also add some Hobby Lobby Christmas florals to this. using a small painting spatula to put wood glue in the cracks on this piece, and then I will use a small wood clamp to hold this together until it dries. I will also use a wet wipe to wet distress this piece on some of the edges. Here's a quick peek at a simple project. I used white Christmas ornaments from Hobby Lobby and decoupaged them with napkins I found on Amazon. A little bit more about these in a minute. These small birdhouses are another example of how thrifted items can be used or transformed into Christmas ornaments. These were $2 each at Goodwill. I painted these with 2 coats of chalk paint and added Christmas greenery and florals to dress these up. These looked a little empty without birds, so I cut out a couple of birds from napkins I had purchased on Amazon, put a little cardstock behind them for support, and then glued them on the front of the birdhouse. Remember I mentioned a surprise inspiration. In one of my recent Goodwill shopping trips, I spotted something that gave me a little bit of inspiration for some shabby, handmade Christmas ornaments. These snowman ornaments are cut from a flannel pillowcase I found at Goodwill. All I did was layer quilt batting and muslin fabric with these cutouts and did some hand stitching around the edges for some very cute shabby ornaments. The next items are from last year and worth mentioning again. These are made from small canvases I picked up last year at Hobby Lobby. I decoupaged these with napkins and cutouts from wrapping paper. I added copies of sheet music and cardstock that I stamped with Christmas messages. I antiqued these with scrapbooking distress ink and gold craft paint. The Christmas messages can be found at Hobby Lobby or some on Amazon, and I will also link those below. I attached a strip of muslin cloth that I had torn in strips for the hangers. Living in Texas, I thought these were a great theme for selling in my space that I rent in a little antique mall called Cartel in Boerne, Texas. We get a lot of tourists in that area on the weekends especially. That little town is spelled B-O-E-R-N-E. It is just outside of San Antonio, Texas. We do have an Airbnb there, as well as a few others in the Hill Country area near San Antonio, Texas. I will put a link to our Airbnb site below in the description. Now let's take a look at all of the Christmas decorations we've created using Hobby Lobby crafting supplies and other inexpensive items. This was also an item I picked up at Goodwill. I didn't do anything to it other than fill it with florals. On the pop-up at the end of this video to see last year's video on how these country Christmas decorations were created in detail. I think you'll have a lot of fun creating these. They're pretty simple and pretty inexpensive to make. Thank you for watching today. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.